Welcome everyone, thank you for tuning in. This is the MSV podcast. Here we talk about crypto. My name is Sabi, I am your host today. Let's start. I see that people are coming in already. So maybe I will just start with my intro and then we can kick it off if it's good for everyone. So hi everyone, we are back with another very interesting interview. Just to remember that the Spaces is recorded and we will post a recap. Obviously, you can also find us on other podcast platforms like Spotify. And I think this is a very interesting period to have some discussions about DeFi, about AI, about NFTs, and all the other technologies which are in this industry. Therefore, today we are going to have a chat with Vijay from BitsCrunch, and he's gonna tell us all what we need to know about the project and of course about him. So Vijay, thank you very much for being here. Thank you for taking the time. I think we can kick it off. So maybe let's start with an introduction. If you could tell us a bit about yourself, about your background, that would be great.
Yeah, sure. Zavi, thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure talking to MSV Morningstar Ventures community. You guys are doing a great job through Venture Arm, through the Venture Studio Arm GG. So yeah, glad to be associated. So myself, Vijay Pravin, originally from India, but then living in Munich, Germany, the city of Oktoberfest, I call it. And I've been living here for the last 11 years now. Worked for companies like Volkswagen, Siemens, two German OGs in the Web2 space before I started BitsCrunch with my friends and colleagues. So it's been a great couple of years of journey for BitsCrunch. We have managed to raise more than $6.5 million from some of the top VCs in the space, like Coinbase Ventures, Animoca Brands, uh, Polygon, Chainlink, Hashkey Capital, and so on. And building nicely, and then we are excited to move into a very crucial phase in our BitsCrunch career path. So yeah, exciting times ahead. Looking forward to this chat for the next few minutes.
Great. So you are coming from Web2 tech industry, and now you are in the Web3. How do you find the differences? Before I start my questions, how do you feel now? How do you feel in this new industry? What would you highlight?
I mean, totally different. If I look back my Web2 experience with Volkswagen or Siemens, it was totally different with what I am doing right now. Because here businesses happen over Telegram chat, businesses happen over Discord, which is totally new, especially when I came from big companies like Volkswagen and Siemens. I was like shocked and was was taken aback with the initial days with how things operate. Uh, because there in the traditional world, the people take emails seriously. People take uh, the, uh, the chat rooms like Slack seriously. But here it's more of a flowing zone where people tend to discuss about APIs, dashboards, and businesses over Telegram chat. That was a bit different, and crypto never
Mhm.
sleeps. That's a famous
Yeah.
saying. So anytime, anywhere in the world, people used to ping the team, see if something goes wrong, and so on. So it's more of vibrant community, vibrant nature.
So the pace is very different. It's faster. Let's just say the working environment. Would you say?
Exactly. I mean, 3 months in crypto is equivalent to a year. That's also a famous saying from most of the people in this space, right? Because time flies very fast. Even if you speak about bear and bull cycles, time is very fast. I mean, it's just like
Yes.
we started, and already been doing 2 years for BitsCrunch.
Yeah, I believe you. I believe you. From the investing point of view as well, I think 1 year in crypto is like 10 years in traditional markets. But today we are going to talk about BitsCrunch, your project. So can you tell us a bit about why did you started it? What were you looking for, and what wanted to build in the initial phase, let's say? So how it all started?
Mhm. So when I started, I wanted to build something on data space because if you look at the experience of myself and the team, we were predominantly data savvy team. So myself, I'm a master's degree graduate from Germany, and if you look at the CTO, he's again the same master's here. So we wanted to do something on data, and for us, blockchain is open source, so anybody can look into what's happening on public blockchains. So we wanted to step into the blockchain world on the data part, which is which is one of the comfortable zones for us. So we started there, and that is when the famous $69 million NFT got sold. So it was one of the pivotal moments where we
Interesting.
wanted to focus on NFTs in particular, because the reason being the famous $69 million. Most of the people they know Beeple, that's Beeple's NFTs, but very few talk about the buyer. So the buyer is Meta Cohen, and interestingly, he comes from my hometown in India.
Very interesting. Lots of interesting intersections there.
Yeah, true, totally true. I mean, if a guy coming from your hometown invests on an NFT, which is pretty much a JPEG back then, right? People used to say it's a JPEG.
Yeah,
And when somebody invests close to $70 million on it, and that is when everybody went crazy. NFTs had a bull cycle. Uh, Companies like OpenSeas and so on went into $1 billion valuations in quick time, and that's when we spotted there is a lot of friction towards onboarding onto the space. There is a lot of wash trading going on. I mean, people talked about wash trading in 2022 when markets sort of settled down. That is when people said, ah, okay, NFTs or wash traded and so on. But we spotted it much earlier, so that is when we raised our seed round 2021, and we wanted to focus on the dark side of NFTs. So, are there any wash trades on NFTs? Is there a price estimation that we could calculate using AI? And then, is there any copycats in the NFT space? So, we sort of looked into NFTs from a different perspective. And I always say that we are the police of NFTs, like the police or military of NFTs.
interesting. Now, before I go forward with my questions, I just want to double check that everyone can hear me, because I just got a message that one of our listeners can't hear us. So, guys, if you could just press an emoji if you can hear us, that would be great. I can see already like 4 people, so it should be okay. If anybody can't hear us, then just press some emojis, and we will adjust something. Okay, yes, I can see everybody can hear us. Nice. Okay, so you already mentioned AI, right? And I think that is one of the hot topics in the last half a year. We even recently seen some drama with OpenAI, and a little drama never hurts, right? However, what I want to discuss about is that AI is going on the same path, maybe from my point of view, as crypto, the pioneering and then probably some regulations, right? Um, how do you see any problems with it, or learning from crypto, do you already prepare for future regulations, for example, because AI is a very important part of your technology. And I just wanted to add here that you are just solving the question with the NFT or JPEG problem. Copying a JPEG is not going to be another NFT.
Yeah, totally true. I mean, AI and blockchain has been one of the two most talked about and popular technologies, especially in the last few years. And we use both. Luckily for us, we use both. And we use AI not just for the sake of using AI, right? I mean, AI has been the talk of the town uh, since ChatGPT arrived. I believe a few months, close to half a year now. But if you roll back and look at our initial deck in 2021, we started using AI back then. So we started using AI even when AI was not even in the picture, was not even popular. So that's the, the 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 game changer for BitsCrunch, and that is one of the reasons why we are always ahead of the curve when it comes to analytics and forensics, right? So use of AI. So there are a lot of analytics providers in the space. I mean, look at um, Dune Analytics, look at Nansen. There are a lot of analytics platforms, analytics providers like NFT Go, for instance. But for them to step out and do forensics, I won't say that it's challenging. Uh, we love challenge, of course. We love competition, so we would want them to be also uh, focusing on forensics, because ultimately the goal of BitsCrunch is to be decentralized and use AI in a way that it tells people much more insights than the on-chain data, on-chain analytics, right? So just to name a few customers that we have DAppRadar, we have Unstoppable Domains that use our data, and that is what we want. So we want Dune Analytics to build on top of what we build. We want Nansen to build on top of what we build, because the reason being we are decentralized, and that is one of the wonderful um, standout features of BitsCrunch.
And would you think that that is like the most important asset you offer, on the market? That is why you think that BitsCrunch is going to stand out from all the other companies, or maybe including the Web3?
I mean, definitely yes. So if you look at the intersection of AI and data and blockchain, this has been the widely talked about topics in the not just in the CT space, crypto Twitter space, but then in general, right? I mean, if you look at the valuations of the companies, AI companies are a touch above the rest, I would say. And we are now looking at a token generation event, token public sale, and centralized exchange listings in the next few weeks and months to come. And you will get to know detailed information soon. But one thing that I can assure you is we are already hitting some of the best launch platforms, best exchanges, and that is also possible because of the early mover advantage that we have in the space, and also because of quality data and the AI accurate AI predictions that we provide. So it's not just that one or two factors that contribute to the success of the project, but it's quite a lot.
Understood. Thanks. I just want to mention here that if anyone has any questions, we will have a Q&A session at the end of the chat. We have time for around 3 questions. So you can put it in the comments, or you can request to be a speaker. I can see that somebody already requested, so we will admit the people who want to ask a question at the end of the discussion. Now let's go forward. I can see that we have a big name among us, that Martini guy. So let's go forward. And I saw on your website that staying compliant for your customers is a very important part of your services, and you focus on that as well. Can you elaborate on that? Because we spoke about being compliant, I mean, BitsCrunch, the project, but you can also help other people staying compliant with your technology.
Yes. So what we do is we look at the money laundering aspect as well. So not just the wash trading, but on top of it, we also look into the money laundering aspect. Think of us like the decentralized chain analysis, right? Chain analysis and elliptic, they do the same thing again and again, but in a centralized way. But we wanted to decentralize and democratize the access of data. So what we do is we pick, just to give you an example, we pick the OFAC listed wallets from the US, OFAC wallets that are like blacklisted. and we dig 10 levels deeper. I mean, we could dig more, but just to give you an example, we dig 10 levels deeper, and we see what sort of money from the money laundered wallets are getting into the NFT space, right? So this is something serious. So watch trading is not uh, illegal in many ways. I mean, nobody says that watch trading is legal or illegal, but money laundering is definitely a serious issue, right? And this is where we help marketplaces sort of blacklist or restrict wallet addresses that could potentially bring money laundered money and into NFT space, and then they can flip it over, make some bucks, and then leave the platform, right? So we have some shocking stats from some of the top marketplaces that has led uh, some sneaky players into their mix. But again, I mean, if the wide adoption has to happen, we have to be compliant in at least certain ways, right? I mean, I'm not vouching for
Yes.
centralizations or speaking for regulations or compliance here, but given the data, given the visibility of data that we have, we wanted to show it to the community. I mean, at the end of the day, we want Sabi or Diedrich or Vijay's to get fair NFTs. We don't want them to get into any tangle, get into any fake NFTs, fake assets, and they lose all the money. So the goal of BitsCrunch is to combine all the worlds of BitsCrunch, Dune Analytics, Nansen, chain analysis, and elliptic, and then whatnot, to provide the users what is good, what is bad. At the end of the day, we are all, or else I assume, crypto people, they are all 16 plus or 18 plus. And I believe with good data, with reliable data sources, they can make their own choices and good choices. That is important.
Great. So we already talked about being compliant as a company and to offer some security to users. So the target users are both companies and users, if I understand this correctly.
Yes, so having been gone through having gone through the centralized journey, so far we were targeting businesses. So just to give you a couple of examples, we have um, Unstoppable Domains as one of our customers. We have DAP Radar, one of the popular platforms out there. They are one of our biggest blue chip customers. And we had a startup program through which we had 52 startups that signed up for our APIs, and they use our data through the startup program. And now getting into the decentralized phase, we want the users like you and me who can also participate in the network. So we have different roles that are also described in the white paper. So there is node operator, which is a classic case in every other crypto project. And then there is a delegator role where people stake tokens to secure the network. And there is a role that is called indicator. So people stake tokens to help shape up the content direction. So they can say which content is good. So because we collect off-chain data as well. So we are not just focusing on chain data. And there is a community contributor role where you can also be part of the community, help the network with code or content, and then get rewards, get incentivized. And there is also this user. So we have built a B2C platform that's called unleashnfts.com, where users can also come on board, get data, and they can stake tokens to use the network data. So it's been a thoroughly thought through process, and a lot of utility right from day one. So one thing that I can assure you is there will be utility right from day one. So people can speculate on top of it, but it will not just be speculation.
Okay, great. Because we just reached to the tokens topic, you already mentioned it, and my question would have been that what will be the utilities of the tokens? You already mentioned staking, I think. Are there any other utilities to the BCAT token, which is going to be launched soon, right? We are going to talk about that as well.
Yes, so we are. I mean, the official statement will arrive shortly. Since there are quite a number of NDAs in place, I cannot talk much about it right now. But you can expect the public token sale to go live probably in a week or two from now. So that's already very short, short span of time. We don't have a lot of time left, to be honest. And then the token generation event will happen shortly after the public sale. And shortly after the public sale, you can expect us to get listed on some of the best exchanges in the market. So the December, the January is going to be a roller coaster ride for not just for me, but for the entire team.
Well, that's great to hear. And then what I understand is that the public also has access to the launch of the token. Can we touch just a bit back to the utility? Is there a difference between the B2C and B2B users' utilities for a token, or are they going to use the tokens the same way?
Yeah, so for instance, the customer like DappRadar, so previously what they did is they had chat with our BD team. They have to get in touch with the team, get the API keys, and then integrate it to their product and play around. So it has been a cumbersome process. But what has been simplified now with this decentralization is anybody who is coming from anywhere in the world, they can just bring their wallet address, they can connect to our systems, and they can get the API keys as soon as possible. I mean, as easy as possible. Right? So with that, we simplify the whole process of so many hours, so many man hours, where they have to talk to the team, get in touch with us, get the API keys, and then wait for the emails, back and forth conversations. Everything has been scrapped off. They just get the API keys as easy as possible, and then they have to stake the tokens, right? They can operate nodes. Today we have 55 node operators, some of the best in the market: Chain Node, 0x Fury, Nodes Guru. With a combined TVL of $4 billion, we have some of the best node operators in the market to operate nodes for BitsCrunch. And then
Impressive
there is
number.
Yep. I mean, humble to have such top node operators in backing BitsCrunch. And then delegator roles is, I mean, you and me could be the delegators. You can just uh, join the platform, get some tokens, delegate it, secure the network, right? I mean, you can sufficiently check if a node operator is running or not. You can delegate the tokens on top of node operators that you wish, right? So you have the option to delegate and delegate. So these are the options that it provides. And then, like I said, there are other roles as well: indicator, community contributor, and customer, consumer, right? So it's not just about staking, like as in most other crypto projects that starts with, but we have many more exciting roles. And there is an interesting airdrop campaign that is also coming out next week. So I can talk about this alpha. So that is coming up next week.
So lots of things are coming up next week. Just before we go forward, I want to go back a bit because it's very interesting for me how you can provide this security, how I can check, for example, the NFTs. Now, if I'm a user and I want to check the NFTs, do I need to use BitsCrunch, or can I use it? Or I don't know, the platform which uses it ensures me that it's checked? Or how this would work in like a bird's eye perspective?
Yes.
Because I didn't catch that part.
Okay. So there are two ways that a user can use it. One is a B2C version. Let's say if Sabi wants to use it as a retail user, a layman, you have an option to go to unleashnfts.com. Maybe guys who are listening on the call, maybe they can comment the platform in the chat here in this thread. So unleashnfts.com is a platform. It is similar to CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko, but for NFTs. And the good differentiator here is it also has forensics. So it doesn't just provide on-chain analytics like trade volume, um, wallets, active wallets, and sale transactions, but rather we also provide uh, forensics like watch trading, or what is the NFT fair, is the NFT legit or not. So as a user,
Hmm.
you go connect your wallet, and the biggest thing is, and the good thing is, the platform is free. It is free of cost right now, and you can go connect your wallet, get the API keys. If you are a developer, that's the second option. If you are a developer, you can go get the API keys, and you can start playing around the uh, data analytics insights that we have at the back end. And if you are building something, if you are a marketplace, if you are a lending protocol, if you are a platform that integrates or willing to integrate NFTs in the future, you also have the option of getting the API keys, getting the data from us as easy as possible. So you have an option to use as a retail user to check for uh, if it is a fair NFT or not. And as a business, you can also get the data and then start integrating onto the platform that you're building. So in a way, it's a win-win. It's a bi-directional
All
win for
clear.
the customer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for explaining this for a newbie. I think it's clear and it's pretty straightforward. So thanks for that. Now, my question is that do you have any other incentives for long-term holders, to motivate people to keep that? Uh, is it because they need the tokens to use the services? Is it only the staking, which is also like a big incentive, or how do you what did you implement in this topic?
Hmm. So we have an interesting composition here as in community contributor. So let's say if you are good at coding, you can contribute to the network with code. So you can do Python programming, you can do JavaScript, and then you can help us with the code, or you also could help us with contents. Let's say if you because we keep collecting the off-chain data. Let's say if we want wallet tagging, so if you go to Etherscan and so on, sometimes you see this wallet tag, right? Binance wallet or Kraken wallet. So you see that
Yeah.
wallet tagging. So people could do that. People could help us with content curation, where they could also give us Discord links of certain NFT collections. Let's say imagine a case where an NFT collection is launching tomorrow, and they have a Twitter ID, Discord ID. Community could contribute these data, and these data points will be reviewed by randomly generated community leaders who are picked by Chainlink VRF. So in a way, we as a team, we are not dictating anything here, but then the smart contract by itself picks up random people, and they also get incentivized for reviewing this contents. And if they approve, it will be then appended to the data points, data indexes. So in a way, this is something that is interesting, that is going to be new, and everything is going to be on chain. So there is no point of any black box where
Mhm.
things are approved or things are rejected. Everything will be seen on chain.
Very interesting. Thank you. Yeah, that's an interesting initiative. I think we should go forward from the token topic to the DAO topic because you also have a DAO initiative. Can you walk us through what is the plan? What DAO means for you, because DAO can mean many things, but what it means for BitsCrunch.
Mhm. So when we set out plans for building BitsCrunch, we always kept community in front of us, right? I mean, look at the products that we have built. Look at the necessity or need of the products. It's always revolving around community, right? We ultimately we don't want the community to lose their hard-earned money, right? Where they do 9 to 5 jobs and then invest into an NFT, which they don't even know what it is, and at the end of the day they lose the money because it's a wash traded NFT or a fake NFT. So we wanted to always give community an upper hand, and that is why we have roles like indicators, community contributors, and customers inside the token utility, whereas they get to use it right from day one. But we move into a DAO model, like a completely DAO governance model. That is not a real short-term goal, but then we want to move there in few months. So today, if you ask me, yes, there are roles that could support a community member, but they will mature. There will be a matured DAO community for BitsCrunch in months to come. Let's say 6 months to a year or 18 months from now. That is when I would say most of the data, most of the efforts that we are doing now as a team of 10, 20 people from BitsCrunch, it will be decentralized. It will be done with a much bigger community by itself.
Okay, very interesting. Thank you for the explanation. Now, we are going to talk a bit about the Web2 partners as well, but I just want to remind everyone that we have a Q&A session at the end of this chat. So if you have a question, you can put it in the comments. I already see 2 great questions, so we are going to discuss about those as well. But if you want to ask the question personally, then you can ask to be a speaker. We will admit you and you can ask your question to Vijay. Now, you also have, Vijay, you have some very interesting Web2 partners. We talked about the Web3 partners, great names, and a very, very big amount, very, very big companies. But the Web2 partners are also significant. You have MasterCard, you have E&Y Academy. Can you elaborate? Maybe can you tell us some details about this partnership, what they do with BitsCrunch or what BitsCrunch is doing with them, why they are needed, and maybe some plans. Just feel free to spill any beans here.
Yeah, sure. I mean, Web2 partnership is something that we are really grateful for. We are really proud of achieving because it's been just a journey of 2 years since we started. And for a company of our size and our stage of growth in terms of either funding or be it product stage, we have already partnered with some of the giant names from the Web2 world, right? We did a POC for MasterCard, one of the big payment giants in the world, and we just graduated from EY, Ernst and Young Academy from Germany, Frankfurt, Germany, and then we also work with Accenture India, one of the another great companies in the globe, one of the top 100 Fortune 500 companies. So to forge these partnerships and to consistently get a good visibility is also something that we are really proud of. Just to give you an example of where we will support or we will be handy when it comes to MasterCard. So today, Sazi or Vijay, we can buy NFTs using MetaMask. We can buy that using MetaMask and then MoonPay, right? But in the near future, anyone listening on this call or anyone in the market, they can also buy NFTs with multiple payment gateways, payment options, right? You can have MetaMask as an option, you can have MasterCard, Visa, PayPal, Stripe, and so on. And that is when somebody tries to buy an NFT using MasterCard, it goes and checks for the legitimacy of an NFT, right? It's just like a credit card transaction. So today, Sazi might be living in Dubai or Europe, and if you're traveling to the US for a conference, and the moment when you swipe your card, it throws an alert, right? It throws an alert saying, "Hey,
Yeah.
it's Sazi. Looks like you have a malicious transaction, or just make sure it is you, right? There is a message from the bank." So we are all set to do that for NFT space in a few years. I mean, the whole market went down, so the POC, the proof of concept, was put on hold. But I'm sure someday or the other, there is a need for such an alert, right? You cannot let your users to fall as a prey for a fake NFT, for a fake digital asset.
Yes, very well said, and it's great to see that these big Web2 companies are also getting closer and closer to the startups, the crypto startups, okay, or the crypto startups are getting closer to companies like MasterCard. Obviously, the security is a very important part in this matter, and also for onboarding, because if anyone sees that I don't know, a project or a product service is backed by MasterCard, then the due diligence is probably already done. So I'm very happy to see that, and congrats on these partnerships.
Yep, thanks a lot.
Yeah,
And also the big fours, talking about big fours, I forgot to mention about the EY. So
yeah,
we had an opportunity to participate with five, six other startups here in Germany, alongside some of the uh, good crypto companies here in Europe. So these opportunities also provide us insights on growth, insights on how we can scale the business. So when it comes from UI, obviously this will help a startup like BitsCrunch, which is sort of 2 years old. And when you look at the size of the EY, they have like 400,000 employees across the globe, right? So getting lessons, getting workshops from such stalwarts, such people will always add value, and we were glad to be part of that program that concluded recently.
great, great, congrats. Now I have only one question, and then we can go to the Q&A, because we already have some questions in the comments. So it's about announcements. You already said that some announcements are coming up, which you cannot talk about, also about the tokens, obviously. Do you have any announcements which you can talk about, or you want to announce because it's coming up, I don't know, this week maybe, or next week, which is not the token?
So early next week, like I promised, we have a bigger airdrop campaign. So there will be millions of tokens given away to the community, to the participants, and the airdrop announcement is set to go live early next week. And in a week, or in 10-15 days, within the 10-15 days from now, you can expect the public token sale announcement to go live. This is something that I can reveal at this point. I cannot reveal the platform, I cannot reveal the launch pad or platform at this point in time, but rest assured, that is going to be one of the big names in the industry.
Great, great. So everyone look out for BitsCrunch announcements, and obviously, since you are already here, press the follow button to BitsCrunch, to Vijay, to Morningstar Venture as well. So I think we can go and check those questions in the comments. We already got some nice comments. For example, somebody said, X Spark says, I love BitsCrunch project. I was already following since a year ago. And we have some fire, and LFG. Well, we are happy. We are happy to see that. Now, Sick Dad with a K, he is asking, are you guys taking consideration of making a mobile app?
Yes, mobile app is in the roadmap. So we wanted to also grab the mobile users. I mean, if you look at all the degens, all the crypto pros, they're all deep into mobile phones. I mean, with all the applications now supports mobile phones. We wanted to be there. That is in the roadmap. So we wanted to bring unleashnfts.com, which is a web platform right now. We wanted to bring that to the mobile version, and then obviously by then I suppose Apple will be lenient because Apple got into a mix, got into a tangle with all the Web3 applications of late. There was an issue with Uniswap app. There was an issue with a couple of other apps. But keeping the future in the mind, futuristic plans in the mind, I would say there is an option for mobile versions of all the analytics and data points that we would provide. But that's in the roadmap. You can expect an announcement about this in Q2 next year, because this quarter and early next year, Q1, we would be focusing more on token launch, token generation, and token listing. So mobile announcements, you can expect that around Q2, Q3 next year.
Nice. Okay, that's great. I think I agree with you. Everything is happening on mobile. I think from content watching to everything. We can also see on analytics that most of the users are mobile users, and obviously that is why everyone is pushing for mobile applications. So it's good to see that BitsCrunch has in its roadmap a mobile version as well. We have one more question from the same dad. And that is, what marketing strategy do you have for bringing the new wave of crypto users into your platform?
So we continuously partner with some of the big names, big firms in the industry. Take for instance an announcement with Mastercard will obviously bring more credibility. And talking about Web3 space, we have a big campaign coming up with Unstoppable Domains. So they are all set to launch their premium dashboard, premium analytics, which will use BitsCrunch APIs at the back. So that is something that will be good. And we are also talking to a lot of tier one thought leaders in the space. I mean, KOL is a word that is probably tricky to use, but we are forging partnerships with some of the best names, best influencers slash thought leaders to talk about what we are building. So not about shilling the project. We were never doing that right from the beginning. In fact, if you scroll through the entire crypto, we never talked about the token play much, right? Because we wanted to
Yep.
focus more on the protocol, so the fundamentals. So the focus will always be on the fundamentals. We will use the help of those thought leaders and influencers to talk about what we are building, and the analytics, how it can impact a user journey while making a purchase. So that is something that we will focus. And then it's up to the people, right? Then they can decide if they want to buy BitsCrunch tokens or just use the product. So you have an option to also use the product and follow the journey. And that is something that we will do. And we are forging a lot of good partnerships, and also thanking Morningstar Ventures here, both the MSV Ventures team and GG team, studio team. So you guys have been also helping us a lot here. So thanks for that.
Well, we are happy to do that, obviously. Now, honestly, I said that is the last question, but it seems I lied, because just one more question came in, which is a good one, and I think it would be interesting to hear your perspective on that. So New Dawn says, "Hi, is BitsCrunch including the metaverse in their future plans?" So is metaverse a focus for BitsCrunch? Interesting.
Yes, I mean, anything that has an NFT to it will be monitored. So BitsCrunch will always have its eyes on metaverse. So let's say if be it Sandbox, be it Decentraland or Somnium Space or whatever, we will always keep track of what is happening in those metaverses, and what are the NFTs getting minted there, getting transferred, getting sold. So we will always have an eye into the metaverse ecosystem, and in a way, we will always safeguard the ecosystem. So yes, to answer the question, yes, we will be part of metaverse, but we won't have our own metaverse at least for the next couple of years, 2 to 3 years. We are not thinking about a standalone metaverse for BitsCrunch, but we already have our own land in some of the metaverses, well-known metaverses.
Well, that is great to hear. Actually, I wouldn't even think about BitsCrunch having its own metaverse, but I can see BitsCrunch monitoring, for example, if you talk in gaming metaverse, just checking that the items which are switching owners, that they are legit. I don't know, I'm talking about games, whatever assets they are there. So yeah, I can totally see how BitsCrunch could guard these
Yep.
transactions.
Yep. I mean, thanks for bringing gaming into the picture here, because what we provide is cross community gaming analytics, which is something that is very unique, which is one of the unique selling propositions of BitsCrunch. So let's imagine a case where you play an action game, and you play an adventure game, and you play um, a different game, right? So we take all those cross chain uh, different game analytics, and then we also sell it to businesses and also sell it to the customer, right? At the end of the day, we show what games are you so addicted to. Are you connecting your wallet and playing adventure games? So how long do you play? What sort of assets you buy in there? What is your investment you make there? And we also provide that to businesses because they need to know which users that they target, right? What sort of users they want to target, what sort of
Of
analytics will
course.
be interesting for them. So gaming analytics is something that is going to be interesting. And since I strongly believe Web3 gaming is going to be the next big wave because that can help onboard billions of users, and we will help facilitate that. We will help onboard millions of users using our analytics, transparent analytics.
That's great to hear. Yes, I also think that gaming will be a big narrative in the upcoming 1 to 2 years. Also because the gaming on the blockchain has changed tremendously. I mean, this is not the gaming. The games today are not the same as we had 2 years ago. So the pace of development there is huge, and I just cannot wait to see where it will evolve when all the games will be launched. So yeah, thanks for adding this to our conversation. I don't have any more questions. So thank you very much for being here. I think it was great. We learned a lot about BitsCrunch, and I do hope that we can do this again soon.
Yep. Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me here today in the lovely evening. And would be great to catch up soon in some other spaces in some time, probably after the launch. But again, thanks on behalf
Yeah,
of
100%.
BitsCrunch team. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you everyone for listening in. This was the interview with Vijay from BitsCrunch. Make sure that you follow us, and in 2 weeks, our colleagues Naini and Peter, they are coming with a roundtable discussion, which will also be very interesting. So make sure that you listen in there as well. And myself, I'm coming back in 3 or 4 weeks. Thank you again, and have a nice evening.